Welcome to the webinar, Education in Ontario. It is prepared by Costi Immigrant Services. Costi is very proud to be a Planning for Canada partner in Ontario. This webinar will provide you an overview of the education system in Ontario. The webinar will cover the following sections: school system in Ontario, school registration, elementary schools, secondary high schools. In Ontario, the school year begins in September and runs until June. However, students may enroll in school at any time throughout the school year. In the next couple of slides, I will talk about different types of school systems. First, let's start with different school systems in Ontario. There are 3 types of school systems in Ontario, and everyone under the age of 18 must attend school. Access to education is free regardless of immigration status. You can choose to send your child to a public school. This is an option that is chosen by most parents because education in Ontario's publicly funded schools is paid for by tax dollars and is made available free of charge to all children of school age living in Ontario. Approximately 2.05 million students are enrolled in public elementary and secondary schools. You have the option of sending your children to private schools. You will have to cover the cost of tuition if you choose this option. And around 110,000 students are enrolled in private elementary and secondary school. Another option is to homeschool your children. With this option, you will be required to teach your child at home. In the following slides, I will give you an in-depth explanation of each school option. Ontario has 4 types of publicly funded schools under the public school system, and most parents opt for the public school system. In Ontario, we have 4 school boards. We have English Public School Board, the French Public School Board, the English Catholic School Board, and the French Catholic School Board. These school boards operate at both the elementary and secondary school level. Public English language schools are open to all students residing in Ontario. Catholic English language school boards are open to all children who have been baptized as Roman Catholic or have Roman Catholic parents. Generally, French language schools are open to all students seeking French language education. Each school board has its own set of rules and admission criteria. Enrolling or registering your child into school. To register your child in school, you will need to provide several pieces of information. Proof of age, a birth certificate, passport, permanent resident card, or record of landing. Immunization records or vaccination card proof that your son or daughter has been immunized, and it should be noted that children in Ontario must be immunized against specified diseases in order to attend school. It is possible to be exempted due to medical, religious, or conscience reasons. If you choose not to immunize your child, you will be required to complete an immunization exemption form, which you can get from the public health department in your area. To provide a proof of address, you can use a copy of a bank statement, telephone or electric bill, or apartment lease with your name and address. Usually, your home address determines the English language public school your child may attend, although this is not always the case for some other types of schools. Proof of guardianship is required if your child is under 18 years of age and is not living with a parent. Generally, secondary school students who have recently arrived from other countries may have an initial assessment before they can enter school. Usually, elementary school students are placed in a grade according to age. To register a child into a school, some school boards have a reception center or newcomer reception center. If the area you have chosen to live in does not have a reception center, it is best to visit your nearest school to complete the registration. Let's discuss private schools now. In Ontario, private schools operate as businesses or non-profit organizations. They are independent of the Ministry of Education and is in accordance with the legal requirements established by the Education Act. Unlike private schools in other provinces, they do not receive any funding or other financial support from the government. While all private schools in Ontario must meet the same general requirements, additional requirements are imposed on private schools seeking the authority to grant credits towards the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, OSSD. The ministry does not regulate, license, credit, or otherwise oversee the operation of private schools. It should be noted that principals and teachers in private schools are not required to be certified by Ontario College of Teachers. Parents are responsible for registration fees and any other additional charges, such as uniforms, special field trips, and school supplies. There are some key questions you should be asking the school's administration before you enter into a contract with a private school. For example, does the school follow the Ontario curriculum? Do they perform criminal checks on staff? Are the teachers certified? Are there contracts for fees and refunds? Do they have liability insurance for accidents? Whether you choose a public school or private school, most critical is finding a school that provides your child with a solid educational foundation for future academic, career, and personal success. Another option for your child is homeschooling. Homeschooling is when parents take direct responsibility for their children's education at home, rather than the school attending a government-funded school system. It is also known as home-based education or home-based learning. It is estimated that approximately 1 to 2% of all school-age children are homeschooled in North America. This is 20,000 to 40,000 children in Ontario. The number for Canada is estimated as approximately 47,500 to 95,000 homeschooled children. Homeschooling is legal in Canada. Why would you homeschool? Your children will receive individual attention that is tailored to his or her own abilities and readiness to progress. Each child can learn at his or her own pace. If you'd like to homeschool your child by replicating the school's grade system and the instruction style at home, you can follow the Ontario Ministry of Education curriculum guidelines and implement them with the help of textbooks and education materials available from the suppliers listed in the following resource section. Now let's dive into elementary schools. Elementary schools provide full-day kindergarten programs for children aged 4 and 5. Kindergarten is divided into junior JK and senior SK. In Ontario, children are not required to attend school until they are 6 years old. However, kindergarten is highly recommended, and many parents choose to enroll their children into kindergarten programs. Children begin elementary school when they are 6 years old and attend until they are 13 years old. Grade levels range from grade 1 to grade 8. In some regions, elementary schools will have a program for students 6 years of age to 10 years of age, followed by a middle school for students 11 years of age to 13 years. Teaching in elementary schools typically covers mathematics, language studies, French as a second language, health and physical education, science and technology, art, and social studies, which includes history and geography. Now let's dive into French education and French language classes. Students in Ontario study French as a subject from grades 4 to 8. Most students are required to take one French class in high school to complete their diploma. French instruction is very popular, and many English-speaking students take extended or immersion French. Students from French-speaking families in Ontario can attend schools where French is the primary language of instruction. I will explain the difference between the two programs in the next slide. There are two options for parents who want their children to be fluent in French. Those options are Francophone schools or French immersion schools. The purpose of Francophone school is to teach French as a first language. The teaching takes place in French. In Ontario, you are eligible to attend Francophone school if you have received your education at the elementary level in a French language school in Canada, or the child's parents have received education in French language school in Canada. It means if your child belongs to a French-speaking family in Ontario, then he or she can attend school where French is the primary language of instruction. French immersion school teach French as a second language. If you are a parent that doesn't speak French, but you want your child to learn French, then you could register your child in French immersion school. French immersion registration starts in grade 1. In the next couple of slides, I will talk about secondary schools or high schools. Now we will move on to secondary schools. Secondary schools, often called high schools, start from grade 9 and go to grade 12. Generally, students begin high school at 14 years of age and graduate at 18. Entering high school is an important time in your child's education. High school prepares students for post-secondary school education, college, university, and apprenticeships, or other programs such as technical training to prepare students for work immediately after graduation. Courses that students choose in grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 will decide what they study after high school. Graduation from secondary school is at age 18, although students may attend until they are 21 years of age. Many regions have a newcomer reception center, which is a centralized location that oversees registration into government-funded schools. Toronto, Peel and Dufferin, Ottawa, Waterloo, and York region are examples of regions which have a newcomer reception center. Generally, secondary school or high school students who arrive from other countries may have an initial assessment before they start school. Depending on the region you plan to live, your child may need to do an essential assessment before entering high school. The assessment covers two areas, mathematics and language. The reason for the assessment is to find out about a student's educational background and English language skills so that they can be placed in the right grade. Your child will be placed in a program based on the results from their assessment. Take your child's previous report cards or other school information that might be helpful when they go for the assessment. There are two streams of courses that students in high school can take, applied and academic. Students that are planning to attend university have to take the academic stream. Children planning to attend a college can take either applied or academic courses. Academic courses focuses on extensive theoretical work, independent activities by the students. Students are self-motivated and will learn on their own, read and comprehend material given without consistent needing explanation and guidance, and will complete their tasks independently without direction. Children thinking of attending university immediately out of high school, the child generally takes academic course in grade 9 and 10, and then he and she can take university courses in grade 11 and 12. Applied courses takes a more hands-on format. They are more practical. The activities of the students are directed by an educator. The tasks are clearly defined as opposed to abstract. The students in these courses benefit from clear instructions and structure in their learning activities, and these students learn by doing. Applied courses focus on essential concepts of the course, but develop students' knowledge and skills by emphasizing practical, physical applications of these concepts and incorporate theoretical applications as appropriate. If your child opts for applied courses in grade 9 and 10, and then they can take college courses in grade 11 and 12. High schools in Ontario also offer certain specialized programs. These programs include specialist high skills majors, are for students who want to explore specific career goals and make informed choices about their next steps after secondary school. Students complete 8 to 10 courses in students' selected field. For instance, healthcare, business, and information technology. Cooperative education. Students learn in a workplace setting. They can use up to 2 co-op credits towards compulsory diploma requirements. Dual credit program. In this program, students participate in apprenticeship training and post-secondary courses, earning dual credits that count towards both their high school diploma and post-secondary diploma degree or apprenticeship certification. Dual credits program engages students through exposure to college courses and culture while supporting their successful transition into post-secondary school education. Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. Students in grade 11 and 12 can become registered apprentices in a skilled trade while completing their secondary school diplomas. Depending on the region you will live in, for example, Peel Region or York Region, etc. Some schools offer regional learning programs that empower students by giving them an opportunity to develop and explore skills in particular area of interest. For example, Actively in Motion, AIM, a program intended to increase students' interests, skill development, and active involvement in athletics, fitness, wellness, leadership, and character development, student motivation, and engagement in the learning process. Arts and Technology. In this program, students are encouraged to use math, science, and tech skills in all subject areas. It encourages students to combine the knowledge of traditional academic disciplines with a problem-solving approach to change. Graphic Design and Management. The Graphic Design and Management program focuses on many pathways related to design, such as graphic, fashion, architecture, video game design and animation, interior, urban, industrial design and engineering, and packaging design. SciTech. The Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics (STEM) program integrates a hands-on, minds-on philosophy and provides students with an interactive approach to learning the Ontario secondary school curriculum. Not all secondary schools or middle schools offer these programs, and you will need to research which schools in your area that offer these programs. There is a small nominal fee for registration to get into these programs, and seats are limited. Pre-registration is generally required for these programs. It should be noted that because seats are limited for these programs, there isn't a guaranteed that your child will be accepted. Schools in Ontario offer English as a second language classes and special supports for students who are learning English. English literacy programs teach both English as a new language and focus on learning to read and write. These programs are for students who have been out of school for a while or have never gone to school. English language learning programs are available both elementary and high schools. To graduate from high school and receive an Ontario secondary school diploma, students must pass a certain number of courses, do community service hours, and pass a literacy test. Students must earn 30 credits, including 18 credits are compulsory. Remaining 12 credits are optional. Students choose their optional courses from a full range of courses that their school offers. Pass the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test, OSSLT, or Ontario Secondary School Literacy Course, OSSLC. Complete 40 hours of community involvement, volunteer work. Ontario school program is based on a credit system. Students get 1 credit for every 120-hour course successfully completed. Students may take 8 credits per year and complete secondary school in 4 years. Most students finish high school in 4 years, but some stay for 5 years. Students can take more than 30 credits, but school boards are only funded up to a maximum of 34 credits per student. Now let's talk about teacher and parent communication. There are several opportunities to keep informed about your child's school activities and education. Like in most countries, your child will receive 3 report cards in the school year. These report cards help identify the progress your child is making in each subject in relation to the standards set by the government for learning the educational curriculum. The report includes one progress report card is distributed to each student in the fall of each school year. This card generally has no grade mark, but rather comments to indicate your child's progress. Two additional report cards are the provincial report cards distributed twice to each student during the school year. The first of these two will reflect your children's achievement of curriculum expectations from September to January or February of the school year. The second report card will reflect achievement from January or February to June of the school year. These report cards usually looks like the example in this slide and will indicate your child's school grade. As you can see from the chart, we have level 4 means A grade, level 3 means B grade, level C means C grade. Asking the teacher and principal questions is encouraged and welcomed. In Ontario, teachers, principals, and other school staff are accustomed to receiving calls from parents, and parents are encouraged to be involved with their children's learning. In most schools, principal is available, and it's quite normal to see principals speaking to children during break time or recess. Most schools will hold a Meet the Teacher night, or sometimes call an open house. Parents are invited in to meet their child's teacher. It is not a time to talk about your child's progress, but rather a chance to introduce yourself and meet the teachers. The Meet the Teacher night usually occurs at the beginning of the school year. Other meetings include parent-teacher interviews. These meetings are a time in which you are able to inquire about your child's progress and receive information about your child's abilities. It is highly encouraged that you attend these meetings. The interviews are generally 10 to 15 minutes in length. Therefore, parents are encouraged to come prepared with questions. Next, I will talk about transportation and how to go to school if your children are attending a special program or the school is far from home. In Ontario, school boards will generally provide bus services for children attending their neighborhood school at no cost. However, there are some restrictions depending on the distance from your home to the school, and it is best to check with the school on these restrictions. If your child is using school bus service, an adult must be present when the bus arrives, meaning at the drop-off and pick-up time of the bus. If your child is attending a private school, the school provides a bus service. You may need to pay extra fee for this service, and you should inquire about this when registering for a private school. Ontario is a safe place to live, and if you are living close to school, your child may walk to school with a group of friends, or they may ride a bike to school. It is generally quite safe to leave your bike outside on school premises. However, it is advised that you purchase a bike lock to secure the bike to the designated bike rack at the school. It is recommended that your child be age of 9 or older if you wish them to walk to school with friends. Some parents will drive their children to school, and you will often see a designated drop-off area, which is sometimes known as kids-a-ride. Drop-off is usually set up as a one-way system to help with the ease of traffic flow and safety of the children. Other options including using public transportation. This is usually recommended for older child, not necessarily for a child in elementary school. Public transportation is generally increased within the surrounding areas of high schools during start and ending times of school hours. In the next few slides, we will review post-secondary education. Post-secondary education refers to a university degree such as a bachelor's degree, university certification above bachelor's level, a master's degree, or a doctorate degree. Post-secondary education also refers to apprenticeship or trades certificate or diploma. An individual may have other non-university certificates or diplomas as well. If you already have a university degree or college diploma, you may take in continuing education courses to upgrade your skills. In this slide, we will review the requirements for admission into university. If you are under the age of 18, in most cases, an Ontario secondary school diploma or equivalent is required to register for a college diploma or university degree program. Graduate certificate programs require a prior college or university certificate, diploma, or degree for admission. It is possible to register as a mature student. This status may be granted to applicants who are over 18 years of age and do not have a high school diploma or general education degree, GED. It is intended to allow applicants who have not completed high school the opportunity to be considered for admission based on the skills and experience they have acquired since leaving school. Alternately, prior learning assessment and recognition, PLAR, P-L-A-R, is a means of evaluating skills and knowledge acquired either through continuing education or outside the classroom through work experience, volunteering, life experience, many other venues. The assessment results can be applied toward academic credit for those who are upgrading, retraining, or pursuing education in Ontario colleges. A good source of information about programs and their requirements is the university or college websites. It generally also has information about student services, housing, tuition fees, and other costs, scholarships, and more. In comparison to university, community colleges have smaller classes, more interactive learning. Many community colleges have UniStudent transfer agreements towards a degree program. Colleges offer full-time and part-time diploma and certificate programs and tend to be more directly career-oriented than universities. This means they offer practical and hands-on training. Generally, a certificate program is 1 year or less, and the diploma program is 2 to 3 years. The average cost tuition for one academic year in an Ontario college for a diploma program is from $3,000 to $5,000. And the cost vary depending on which school and program you choose. This does not include textbooks. For more information, please visit tcu.gov.on.ca, Government of Ontario's website. We have talked about public post-secondary institutions. Now we will review private colleges. There are over 400 private career colleges in Ontario. They are also licensed by Ministry of Colleges and Universities. The ministry governs post-secondary education in Ontario. Private colleges must be registered with the Ministry of Colleges and Universities. The ministry, however, does not regulate them. Some individuals prefer private colleges because they have flexible scheduling and fast-track programs. It is important to complete thorough research of all private institutions before making a decision to attend one. This is because some professions with regulatory bodies do not recognize certification from some of the private schools. Private colleges tend to have higher program fees, and it's best to do research on the college before registering. Universities offer degree programs. Undergraduate or bachelor's programs are generally 3 to 4 years in length. A honors degree, the 4th year, is usually required if you want to go to a graduate program, master degree. Master's programs require additional 1 to 3 years. A doctoral programs requires additional 3 years. Many universities also offer professional programs such as medicine, dentistry, and law. In some cases, you can begin these programs after 2 to 3 years of undergraduate studies. If you or your child attends college or university, you will have to pay tuition fees. Costs vary depending on which school and program you choose. University programs are typically more expensive than college programs, can range from $8,000 to $20,000 for one academic year. The field of medicine is particularly expensive, can cost as much as $30,000 per academic year. These costs do not include textbooks or auxiliary fees. Auxiliary fees cover things such as student activity fees, athletic fees, and health insurance. It is possible that you may be eligible for financial assistance through a scholarship or bursary through the schools. Student loans are also available through the Ontario Student Assistance Program, OSAP. Applying to a college in Ontario requires your first submit your application to Ontario College Application Service, OCAS. This is the website listed on the slide. OCAS will respond to the college for you. Generally, colleges consider all applications that receive by a certain date. After that date, the applications are handed on first-come, first-served basis. University applications are submitted to Ontario Universities Application Centre, OUAC. The OUAC processes application for all Ontario universities. The deadline to apply depends on whether you are currently in high school and the kind of program you are applying to. Students graduating from high school are generally required to submit their applications to universities in the month of January, and for colleges in the month of February to ensure acceptance in September. For example, submission in January 2025 will gain your acceptance for schooling starting in September 2025. There are many Ontario Assistant Aid programs available, including grants, scholarships, bursaries, and loans. Some of them I mentioned here. OSAP considers you for all the programs when you apply online as a full-time or part-time student. For more information, you can go to OSAP's website. That's www.ontario.ca, and you can search student loan. That's all for our webinar. We encourage you to register with Planning for Canada to access more pre-arrival support if you haven't done so.